It is hard. It's hard when you're young to wake up in the off season at 6 a.m. to go train and work out, knowing that all your friends are sleeping in and eating pancakes. It's hard when you're on your way to practice, weighed down with all your gear, and it's 90 degrees out and all the other kids are at the pool or at the beach. It's hard to throw, catch, block, and tackle, and hit kids when they're way bigger and way more developed than you, only to go home that night bruised and battered and strained, but knowing you have to show up again the next day for just the chance to try again. But understand this, life is hard. No matter who you are, there are bumps and hits and bruises along the way. And my advice is to prepare yourself, because football lessons teach us that success and achievement come from overcoming adversity.
I remember being downstairs for like the 4th round, and that came and gone. And the 5th round, you know, was coming and going, and all these other guys were getting picked, and it was hard. I remember taking a walk with my dad and mom around the block. Sorry about that. It was just a tough day, you know. You know, finally when the Patriots called, I was so excited, you know. I was like, I don't have to be an insurance salesman, you know.
All those experiences that we think are the hardest things in our life end up being the best experiences in our life, because if you approach it with humility and you look inward, they become the best opportunities for growth and learning. Because I developed this work ethic in high school, and I realized, man, if I want to be good, I gotta wake up in the morning and I gotta do the extra work, and I gotta show up when other guys aren't, and I've got to learn. I've got to continue to be open to learning.
To be successful at anything, the truth is you don't have to be special. You just have to be what most people aren't. Consistent, determined, and willing to work for it. Integrity, purpose, determination, and discipline that it takes to be a champion in life. No shortcuts.
It was a tough battle for me. It was a tough go. It was tough in high school. It was really tough in college. If I want to be the best, I got to beat the best. And this is where the best are. I said I wasn't the prodigy. I learned about work ethic. I learned about resilience. I learned about gaining the trust and the respect of my teammates and coaches. I learned about how to dig deep within myself, a long way from home without a ton of support, to still try to find a way to succeed in this situation that I really wanted to be in, because it was the best for me anyway. Focus on what you can control. Focus on what you're getting, not what anyone else is getting. Go out there and treat practice like no one else does. And I did that every single day. I didn't care about going to all these different places and doing those things. I just wanted to be my best. The team believed in me. I didn't want to let them down. What's the choice you get to make every day to wake up and say, all right, this is where I'm going to focus my time and energy? How disciplined are you to maintain that routine over a period of time? And I think that will determine your level of success. Be proud of that man that wakes up every day and does the best that he could do with his priorities.
Did you always have an absolute killer instinct where I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna prove the wait to see what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna kill this guy when we face him? Was it always like that when you were in high school, or that kind of developed later on?
Yeah, I think it developed over a period of time, and I think there was a work ethic that was in me, but I was never, I would say, like a prodigy. I didn't have the arm that could throw the ball 80 yards. I didn't have the speed that Michael Vick had. I didn't have the size that a lot of guys had, but I did have something inside of me that no one could see from the outside, this level of discipline that I could accomplish something that was really important and really special. I wanted to be a great football player. If I was gonna be a great football player, I wanted to compete against these other guys, and they were all better than me. Don't worry about all these things that are out of your control. Focus on what you can do. Focus on the 2 reps you got.
F your tired body, f that unmotivated mind, and get out there and do it anyway. And the mindset is me versus me. It's No bullshit. It was all about not making excuses.
Yeah.
It was about how do we go out and get it done.
I was so motivated to be the best I could be that I wasn't motivated to be the starter. I wasn't motivated to win the Super Bowl. I just was motivated to give my best, do the best with the opportunity I got, and to never let my teammates down.
Alrighty, good morning, beautiful people. How is everyone doing? Let me know in the chat box if you can hear me loud and clear. I see a thumbs up, amazing. Can you see my screen? Just one more check, and then we can go and start this amazing session. So normally you should see my trading view screen right now if everything is good. Let me know in the chat, just drop a 111 or give me a thumbs up so I know everything is good and we can start this session. I see another thumbs up coming. All right. Amazing. Good. Let's get this thing started. We had a pretty heavy week, let me say it like that, last week, okay? There was one kind of thing that I'm not sure if I mentioned it on the session last week, gotta be honest in it, but I knew the risk was there, okay? And what am I talking about? Well, pretty simple. I've been making price reps last week while I knew we had a massive weekend gap sitting below, all right? So the danger we had, for example, here with AUD we broke these highs, so we created higher highs, but the danger we had is that the market would just start dropping to fill up the weekend gap, all right? The thing is, why don't I really care about it? Why am I just trapping it and following the trends? Well, because these gaps doesn't get filled up immediately always, all right? So sometimes you will see it take months, sometimes you will see it takes a few days, sometimes it will take a few hours, sometimes it's immediately filled up. So it depends a little bit on the time of the market when these gaps will be filled up. But I knew we had a little risk with all these gaps below our price traps, and that's what we have seen, all right? Almost no price traps didn't really respect our structure, didn't really respect this and created higher lows. Absolutely not, okay? But let's talk about it. So very first one, well, we had ADJPY, so we got the breakout. That's what we're searching for with price trap. We want to see breakouts, higher highs, to then search for higher lows, simply following trends, right? What have we seen here? Market created price action. We have seen that the market was reacting on this beautiful demand zone with some 1 hour engulfing candles, rejection candles, 30-minute time frame, exactly the same thing. We have seen some morning stars, engulfing candles, same thing on the 15-minute time frame, engulfing candles, engulfing candles. So there was a lot of opportunity here to react if you are looking for these candlestick patterns, the engulfing, the morning star, all these type of candlestick patterns. But if you were looking at structure, if you were, for example, going for a 5-minute time frame, we never really broke that structure, right? So market was creating lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. So we never really saw a breakout showing us that the market wanted to turn around. So if you add this into your price action trading, you will see you will leave a lot of trades behind, and these trades usually are the ones that hit stop loss after giving us that retest. Okay, so just a small tip you can use when it comes down to price trap. Okay, you have, of course, you will be looking at way more confirmations than only just the retest with a candlestick pattern. But this is just a small tip that you can use if you want to know, like, is this a valid price trap? Is this a valid retest? Can we jump in, yes or no, by using this 5-minute time frame structure, okay? So for ADJPY, candlestick patterns, yes. 5-minute time frame, all right? So that was not really the best idea. But you will see, like I said, when I started the session, the first thing I said was, it was a heavy week, right? And that's what we see here with pretty much a lot of price traps. Like you can see here, next one, we have AD NZD. Here we didn't really have a gap, all right? So you see, market didn't create the gap. So the market did respect a beautiful retest here. So we came back. I was really searching last week. Let me check, where were we? Oh, we were here. Okay. it was even the first retest here. Okay. I was talking about the next one with the sessions we do with our community in the Discord. So there was the first one. Excuse me. What did we see here? Market broke out. Pretty simple. So like I said, following the trend, market creates higher highs. We want to search what? Higher lows to follow that trending market. If you take a look, we see the market came back for a retest all the way back to these demand zones, even swept out all these lows here. So that was also pretty interesting to see. And then the market started rising up. If we take a look at the candlestick patterns, let me just replay this because otherwise I will be looking at the wrong retest. There we go. If we take a look at the candlestick patterns, it was pretty hard to react on this, okay? Like you can see on this low, we never really got that candlestick that we like to react on. No engulfings, no morning stars, and it didn't even give us these kind of candles on every single time frame. If you take a look 5-minute time frame, it was even also a very hard one because last point of structure was all the way up here. This was the last high that the market created before the drop. So the moment we started breaking this, already 50% of the move happened. So personally, I didn't really like this one. I personally didn't react on this. Like I said, we are doing sessions, of course, all the other days, Monday till Friday, with the Discord community, and we just simply trapped it again. We simply used that new high, waited for the market to create a higher high, and then we got that deep retest where we got engulfing candles, all the time frames matching up, and even the 5-minute time frame showed us also some good price action there. Let me check. I see a link coming into the chat. USD JPY, beautiful idea. I will have to check when this happened, but this is nice. Congratulations on reacting on that. This is just a beautiful example of a textbook price trap. Market breaks out, comes back for the retest, reacts on supply zones, gives us a candlestick pattern, and boom, you got your 1 on 3. Okay, so it's just the beauty of price trap. I love this strategy like crazy. I'm using this strategy for years already. Okay, good. What have we seen here on ADCHF? Market broke out. It's a little bit the same story like we have seen on ADJPY, right? Market went for what? The weekend gap. This was the risk I knew I was taking on Wednesday. I knew I was making price trades with all these gaps. I knew that the possibility was that the market would fill up these gaps, okay? So you know the risk is there. With that in the back of your head, you will be a little bit more careful with reactive on buying opportunities there, okay? Like you can see here, market came back for the retest on the first reaction here. We did have some candlestick patterns. We did have some good zones where the market could potentially turn around, but it didn't do it. It just started dropping and went all the way for the gap. The 5-minute time frame, yeah, we did have some break of structures. We did have some opportunities there. So yeah, I'm not gonna hide the fact that this was just a straight stop loss if you reacted on the first price action or here on the highs. Okay, so that's ADCHF. Let's keep on moving because I want to make some new price traps, of course, for this week. Then we see the same thing on Euro AUD. Like I said, we got the breakout to the downside. We were looking for a sell opportunity there, but the market went for the weekend gap. Okay, so it took a while. It was only yesterday that it was filling up that gap, but yeah, market just went straight higher, and we did get price action. I'm not gonna hide that fact. I'm not gonna say like, this was the stop loss because you have to look at this or this. No, absolutely not. I'm very transparent in these type of things. Sometimes you will see that we do have a little of a harder week where we see the market just turning against us. But that's the part of trading, right? You will have days in trading that you will lose, okay? That's just a fact, and you cannot go around that. So that's the reason why you should be always, but really always, making sure you're using the correct risk management. 0.5 risk a trade, only 1.5 risk a day, so you cannot lose more than 3. You have, for example, a daily goal of 2% or 1%, doesn't matter. It's 100% your own choice how you make that risk plan, but please make it and hold yourself to it, okay? So be disciplined to really follow it, because a lot of people, they lose money and they start risking more. They win money, they get in a winning streak, they get overconfident, and they start risking more. So don't be that person. Be disciplined no matter what situation, losing or winning. always keep your risk management in place, because that will be your edge, and that's a very important thing. Okay, so that's something I just gotta say almost every session, because too many people are failing on that part. Okay, so good. Like we can see, Euro Canadian, we were trapping it all the way down here. Market is starting to breaking up. We did had a fast retest here, so there was an opportunity to react on this buying opportunity. And then the market, I put it this arrow here just to show you, like, guys, watch your charts, because the moment we are starting to hit that gap and we starting to create equal highs, it will be very interesting to start buying this market. Okay. So that's what we have seen. Market went higher and higher, and then we got a deep retest into these demand zones to then start moving up again. I gotta be honest again, this was a very hard trade to react on. Why? Because we had a very fast retest here. Then we got the big low, or the big retest. These are the two types of retest you can get, like a fast one or the real big one. I personally love the big one, because then you're really following up trends and you can really run that thing for a long time and a lot of pips. Okay, so that's what we have seen also. This is a short move with a short retest, and this is then the long move with the long trending retest. Let me call it like that. So yeah, why was this hard on this deep retest to react on? Like you can see, this was spread hour the moment we got our entry. Okay, so we got engulfing candles, we got everything in place, 5-minute time frame structure, everything was in place. The only thing that really bothered me, this was spread hour, and then it's very hard to react on that, because also after spread hour we were like, I think it was almost 20 pips higher than our entry. So I personally don't like that, because that's 20 pips more risk. Okay. Okay, let's move on. Euro pound, messed up chart. We broke out to the upside. We came back for the retest. Here you got some retest and a small move up, but again, this was spread hour. If you don't know what spread hour is, pretty simple. Between 11 p.m. and 12 midnight European Central Time, we have the market like shutting down and restarting. All right, all the systems, all the different things, every single day they are restarting everything, and that's why you will see that the market will create some gaps. That's the moment you will see the market creating massive spreads. That's why I really always warn about spread hour. What I personally do, I put away my stop loss for like, I don't delete it, but I put my stop loss way higher or way lower, so spread cannot take it out. Of course, I keep an eye on it, because in that hour something can happen, of course. But after spread hour is done, I personally put my stop loss back in place and let the trade do his thing. Okay, that's how I personally manage spread hour. Of course, it's again 100% your own decision how you will do that. Do you want to close out your trade, enter again after spread hour? Do you want to delete your stop loss, put your stop loss back after spread hour? These are all your own personal choices. But I personally, I just, for example, if we have a Euro USD trade with a 10 pip stop, and I see that price is like 5 pips away from my entry, I'm gonna put like 50 pips, my stop loss 50 pips away from my price. All right, from where the price is at that specific moment. So spread cannot take me out, and yeah, if there is a small gap, we cannot take or the market cannot take you out. But please be careful with that type of way of reacting on spread hour, especially if there is news. Sometimes you will see like 10 p.m., 10:45 p.m. that there is news. Then you gotta be careful with what you're doing with your stop loss, because if you, for example, have a 10 pip stop, you're making your risk 5 times higher. Don't forget that. So if news kicks in, or you get a gap, or that kind of stuff, you have a 5 times higher risk there. Okay. What's your risk management? When do you put your stop loss to break even? I personally use a 0.5% every trade. Of course, that's personal. You will have to find it for yourself how you want to use risk. But I do a 0.5 for the big accounts like fundeds and that kind of stuff. And then I have my smaller accounts where I have some play money and do some crazy stuff sometimes. I dare to go like 2 to 5 to 10% risk a trade, but don't see that as an example. Always make sure you have low risk, high rewards. Okay. When do you put your stop loss break even? For me personally, I'm always going for a 1-on-3 risk to reward, first take profit. So when I go risk free is when my trade hits a 1-on-2 risk to reward. So that's the moment I go break even and put my risk aside. Okay. So good. That was for euro pound. During spread hour, we have seen a push or we have seen an entry, so hard to react on, but we did have a small push to the upside to then break again to the downside. This market is massive consolidation, so I'm gonna stay away from that. This is not the type of chart we like to have as price trackers. Okay, let's move on because we have a lot to cover. Euro NZD, I cannot say much than same like AUD JPY, like what was it more? Which did we have? Like Euro AUD, now Euro NZD, all filling up the gap. I knew that I had that risk. I'm not sure if I really mentioned it on the session. If I didn't, excuse me for that. I forgot it. Happens, but for the people with experience, they knew that there was a risk with this original gap from the weekend. That there was a risk the market would go higher, fill up these gaps before respecting the price traps. Okay. Good. Let's keep it moving here. GJ, same thing. We did not respect. Okay, this was basically an entry already. I told it on the session. I remember. Don't react. Don't FOMO yourself. Wait for a deeper retest. Here we got the engulfing, the 50-minute time frame. Everything was in place. We got so beautiful price action. The market was taken off for like I don't know around 40 pips. So that's pretty massive already. If you have a 20 pip stop, that's a 1-on-2 risk to reward. So remember, risk free, all right? And then the market started dropping. In that drop, that next drop, if you were watching price action, you would never react on this, right? We went immediately below the lows, immediately below the support zones, and then we got some small price action, but you don't want to react on a lower low, right? We want to react on a higher low when the market is uptrending. So good. Let's keep it moving. Next one, G-Chef. Yeah, I'll remember. This was also not really the best price trap. Market broke out, or yeah, we got a beautiful breakout retest with a reaction here. So if you're a limit trader, chances are high you reacted here all the way down on that wick. So you had an opportunity of almost 60 pips. But if you're a price action trader, yeah, it was a little hard. Okay, so market came back for the retest, filled up beautiful imbalance on the left here. Then we got that morning star 50-minute time frame. If we take a look, we had the engulfing candle. So basically, yeah, there was some opportunity to react, but it just went so fast, all right? 15 pips stop, market went for 50 pips in profit. There was some opportunity there, okay? Not the easiest one, but there was some opportunity. Good. Let's keep it moving. NZD-CHF, cannot say a lot about it. Didn't respect, did show some price action, so basically just a stop loss when going for that original gap again. NZD-JPY, same thing, original gap. Price action was in place here around the demand zone, so don't shoot yourself if you're like, yeah, but I took another stop loss. Yeah, I cannot say a lot then. This is just how it goes. This is how trading is, okay? You will take some losses. You will have stop losses. And especially when we were doing risky stuff like we did last week with these original gaps, okay? There's always a very high chance that the market will fill that up before it will continue doing its thing, okay? Then we have USD Canadian. This was a beauty. I'll remember this one. From all the trades, this was the best one, of course. Market broke out, came back for the retest. Like you can see, we went all the way high to 88 FIP levels, filling up imbalances and so on and so forth. Rejection on the 1 hour time frame, 30-minute time frame was engulfing, 50-minute time frame was showing as an engulfing candle. So if you reacted on these engulfings, you had an entry around this area with a stop loss around 15 pips, something like that. First drop, we have seen the market going for almost 60 pips in profit. So there you would have a 1-on-3 risk to reward already in the back. And like you can see, let me check if this, oof, that's a very close one. I think break even would be hit here. If your break even didn't get hit, then you see the power of following that breakout all the way down with around 115 pips at this moment, okay? But I think this would be a break even. The market would hit your break even and then follow that trend up. That's also what can happen, of course, okay? So good. I think that's it. I think these were all the price traps from last week. Oh, we also had gold. Yeah, of course. Also beautiful reaction, by the way. Market comes back for the retest, engulfing on the 1 hour. 30-minute time frame, engulfing candle. 50-minute time frame, again, engulfing, not that clear. So if you waited for the 30, this would be your reaction. Around that area, you would have your entry. Let's just say you went for 100 pip stop. Market went for 900. Is this 900 pips? Let me check again. I'm always again, I'm already for since 2018 I started trading, I started learning, so that's already 7 years. I'm still doubting about the pips on gold. I know the pip is on the point, so the first number after the comma, so it should be this. Okay, amazing. Let me check what we have for today. Okay, so we will start trapping the markets on the Forex, of course. Let's see if we have some opportunities. If you have any questions about what I just went over, so what I just showed you all from the different price traps, maybe you got an entry and you're like, yeah, but you said you couldn't answer. Why? Just let me know. I will help you further. Why I personally wouldn't react or that kind of stuff. So the very first one is ADJPY. We have two options here. Market could just break out to the downside, follow up that downtrend market, right? Oh, this is a 30-minute time frame. Let me check. Wait. That's not good. It's pretty hard to really give you recommendations on that. I'm not really allowed to do these type of takes. But let me first finish this. There are a few that are already for a long time in this space. And to be honest, when it comes down to like supports, when it comes down to credibility and if it is a good prop firm, yes or no, this is one of the factors I'll really look at. How long is this one in the space? Okay, like for example, I know that FTMO is one of the longest firms we have seen. So you can say like, yeah, there is some credibility there. We can trust that firm to be or to start challenges and to use that. Okay, am I saying this is the best one out there? Absolutely not, but it's one of the best. All right. There are a few more, like you have also like the Funded Next, the Funded Trader, the 5%ers. What do we have more? Top tier funding. There are so much different prop firms, but I would say do your own proper research on that. That's one of the things you really want to do. I personally also did that before I started really doing these challenges and all that type of stuff. I was personally really doing deep research before I started that because we have seen a very hard period when it comes down to prop firms because I think it's like 1 or 2 years ago that there were a few prop firms that really crashed out. Like for example, my Forex funds really got bankrupt because of the licenses on MetaTrader and that kind of stuff. So there is always a risk when you are entering these type of firms. But I personally always say like diversify your portfolio. You know, like go on FTMO for one challenge, go on the Funded Next for another one, go on the Funded Trader for another one, go to the 5% for another one. So you're splitting your risk, you know. So if one of these prop firms go down and go bankrupt, you still have other funded accounts. That's how I personally would approach that. Good. But let me first talk about here on ADSD and ADJPY. Do you take a trade only in one account or in multiple? And if you take it in multiple accounts, how do you do this? You have two options. You can just manually go from one account to another if you don't have a lot. So for example, if you only have two accounts, it's pretty easy. just manually use both accounts. If you don't, or if you have more accounts than two, and you want to take all the trades on this, or all the same trades on all the accounts, you can connect your accounts with each other. That it's just the moment you take a trade on one of the accounts, it will do all the same accounts, the same trades, right? With the same risk and all these type of things. But just do your research on that. Just go to YouTube, you will find it, basically. Okay. And personally, I go for all the accounts, same trades, all right? So I'm not like this account is for that, this account is for that. No, I just react with all my accounts. Only the small one that I talked about, that I do some, yeah, fun stuff. That's one I still do manually next to my other ones. But yeah, if you search it on YouTube, you will find it, how you can connect them all. There we go. Here is Euro USD. Waiting for the retest. Let's see if we can follow that trend, of course. Wait, support. Oh. What I wanted to say about ADNZD and ADJPY. We have two options here. We can just break out and retest, or we can get a retest and then start following that trend. Okay. That's why I put it like this. This is a retest alert ready. Okay. ADNZD, same thing. You can just have a retest back into to the supplies to then follow the downtrend. But if we got this small breakout, we can take the market to these supply zones. Okay. So let's see what happens with this one. Then we have Euro USD. Makes sense. Waiting for the retest. Cannot say a lot about that. Euro Canadian. Let me check. Euro JPY. Euro NZD. Nope. Yeah. Doubting. Okay. Let me trap it like this. This was also a trap from yesterday. Was a beautiful one. Beautiful retest. Market just jumped up like crazy. You can see it. Breakout. Retest. Oh. Easy. Easy like 1, 2, 3. That's why I love this strategy. Just the simplicity behind it. Been using it since I think it's 2019. It was before Corona. I'm pretty sure about that. So that's when I started learning it, and I never went back. I was struggling with so many different strategies and so many different ways to trade. I didn't see it anymore. I knew everything from I was working with a platform back then. I knew everything from that platform, everything. And that's why I got blind in the charts. I didn't see anything anymore because yeah, but there is a sell because of supply. Yeah, but don't forget, there's also this zone that could be a buy. I didn't see it anymore. You know what I mean? And that's the moment when I stepped back, and my friend who brought me in that platform said to me like, bro, watch that one guy. He's just using 2 boxes. That's it. I was like, interesting. I started watching the sessions, started backtesting it like crazy, and yeah, never turned back. I will get back to GA, definitely. These ones can be away, all right. GA, I will get back. There was also another pair I wanted to get back to. Yeah, maybe Euro AUD, all right. I will get back to that after I went through my lists. GN, nope. Yeah, GU, you could wait for that retest here to follow up the uptrending market. What I really recommend you, if there are people watching the recording, or if you're now on live session and you have never seen this strategy before, or you're like, whoa, what's this guy telling, or what's he's talking about, just watch as many sessions you can on my YouTube. That's the first thing. The more you will see me doing this, the easier it will get for yourself to spot these price traps and know which ones you can use. And secondly, a lot of people skip that part is backtest the highs and the lows. Please don't necessarily be focused on that entry. The entry will follow once you know the price traps, once you know the structure, once you find these price traps yourself. Then you can start looking at entries and how you can react and so on and so forth. But the very first part you want to talk or you want to look at is the highs and the lows. So backtest that. Just go into the past, mark up your highs and lows, and see how the market reacts on it. That's it. Easy, simple. Do this for hours and hours. Hundreds of highs, hundreds of lows. Here is the breakout retest. Beautiful. Nice reaction. Nice reaction. I was referring to that screenshot or to the link that was sent out in the chat box. So I think it was Louis. Congratulations on that move. Great job. I'm gonna trap this one also. I do like the structure. So that's Canadian JPY. We also had this one yesterday with the breakout retest here. It was a pretty hard one, but yeah, it respected, so clean trade. We did get a breakout now, so watch out for this retest. Could happen the next few hours. Okay, and I think that will be it. Let me first do these ones because I did like the structure. I'm trapping it a little different because it's a little bit the same like ADJPY, just the opposite direction. We can have the breakout to the upside, so a break over resistance, or we can simply get a retest of the broken highs. So we still have a lot of zones, a lot of room here to get down for a retest and get higher from that point. But if we have like this small breakout retest, remember, you can also take this one all the way down to the mat. Like you can see, this is almost 90 pips, guys. So you can just put a break support alert. If the market breaks out, immediately goes to demand without giving you the retest, of course, you will be looking for buys. If the market breaks out with a very small breakout, you can watch for a retest to take it all the way down to demand. Okay? Your AD, exactly the same chart. Only difference is we did not get a retest yet. With, what was it? Was it GA? Yeah, GA. We did got the retest already, right? Like you can see, we see that the market already tested these highs. Here, almost exactly the same chart, but we didn't test the highs yet. So let's see. Breakout to the upside following the trend, breakout to the downside, maybe getting a counter trend idea from this zone till the demand. That's around 75 pips. And then look for buy opportunities. That's what you can do here. So let me put a retest alert on this. There we go. And then we have the resistance. And we are done. Break resistance. Voila. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 price traps. More than enough. Let's see. Let's see. It's looking better than last week. I gotta say that immediately because last week we had these gaps, like I said before, where we had the opportunity or the very it was very likely we would fill up that gap. I knew the risk was there. But let's see what this week will give, all right? This is now the past. We gotta move forward and don't get stuck behind. To talk about the news, what do we have from news this week or the upcoming days? Pretty simple. Yeah, the pound CPI already got or already happened. Tomorrow we do have a lot of euro and we also have some pound news coming in. So be careful in the before midday. So in the from what is it, 9:15 till 10:30. Then we have 2:30 the unemployment claims on USD and some PMI news coming out at 15:45. So yeah, tomorrow we do have a pretty heavy news day. And then it's all okay, all right? Then we will have some calmer days. So for example, here Friday, it's only pound on 8 o'clock and 2:30 some Canadian, but that's it. For today, we don't have a lot going on. Excuse me. So for today, we don't have a lot going on. Only the Euro ECB financial stability review. I don't know exactly what it's all about, but just be aware that this is coming in only 49 minutes, something like that. So be careful that your Euro ideas could react a little bit over there. Good. Let me close off with some crypto. The last part. Where were we last week? Was this 7th? Nope. We were already all the way up here. Yes, sir. Okay, so nothing changed. Okay, nothing changed with what I said last week. We are still in the same zones. So the only difference we got, like these altcoins gave us some good retests. All right. Bitcoin, okay, this one is still rising. It's going for all-time high. I think today, maybe tomorrow, we will have a new all-time high. Okay, 110 will be hit, something like that. We are just following up that massive move, and we keep respecting that uptrending structure. Like you can see, as long as we're creating higher lows, we are going up. I said the same thing last week or over 2 weeks ago. As long as we are respecting higher lows, we will keep going to move up. All right, and that's what we see here. Bitcoin is going for all-time high once again. Ethereum, exactly the same thing. We are still in this consolidation zone. We could watch for some retracements there. We did have a small downtrending structure, so high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, then equal high. I said it yesterday on the session. I don't know if someone can remember this, but yesterday on the session I told you equal high, guys. Let's watch this chart. We have a lot of chance that the market will create a higher low and break these highs, and that's exactly what we are seeing right now. So this could turn very bullish very soon, very quick. Okay, so let's see if we will get the retracements, yes or no. Then we need to wait for breakouts to the downside on the lower time frames. If we do not get the retracements, you will see the market just keep on moving up. Okay, what's very interesting, like I said, all the altcoins, beautiful retest, for example, on Hedera, beautiful retest on Uniswap. If we take a look at Ripple, same thing. Stellar, same thing. All beautiful breakout retests that are looking very bullish. Look at Cardano, same exact thing. We broke out, came back for the retest. Let me delete all these arrows. You can always go to my previous sessions to see what I talked about on the crypto, and you will see how crazy powerful structure can be. Same thing here on Solana. Solana didn't retest fully, I think. No, we didn't retest fully on Solana, but we got a retracement, so we could be ready to just move higher. And this is just such an important chart. This is just showing me, like, if you're mixing everything together, you see Bitcoin is moving, Ethereum is moving, Solana is moving, we see altcoins moving. But then we see the power from Ethereum against Bitcoin is very interesting because Ethereum is getting stronger against Bitcoin. This could be the sign. I'm not going to say it is the sign, but this could be the sign that alt season is there. Alt season is knocking at the door. So we have seen a lot of retracements, a lot of retests, like I just showed you on the altcoins. So if you're not positioned in certain projects that you wanted to be in, I think we are in a good time to look into these things. Again, I'm not here to tell you what you need to do. I'm just here to show you how you can use easy structure, easy information to find yourself these type of things. Okay? So educational purpose only, no financial advice. Please remember that. From who did you learn the strategy? It was from Christopher Derrick back in the days. I'm not sure if he is doing anything now, but that's where I saw it for the first time, and then I just made it myself. So I took the core of the strategy, let me say it like that, and then I changed it to how I personally am in the charts and how I personally like to react on the charts. All right, because if you would find something, you will see the entries that he is using is totally different than I'm personally using. Okay, that's it. I think I'm ready. We have 11 price traps. For the people in our Discord, I will share it, of course, in our charts channel. Also, the recording will be dropped in our alpha value. And then, of course, for the people who are not yet in Discord, just let me know in private messages through Instagram, Telegram, Discord, doesn't matter. And I will help you out to get into these Discords. And also, of course, I will share my recording from my YouTube in the Telegram channel as well. Okay, so that will be it. I would say, like I say always, make sure to keep yourself following your plan, following your risk management, and just stay calm. Stay calm in the markets. A lot of people are losing money because they're getting stressed out or getting fear of that kind of stuff. Don't be that person. And if you are that person, don't worry about that. I was there, been there, done that. Just take yourself like a small book. I personally also have like a book always with me, and start journaling how you are thinking, how you are reacting in the charts. You will see a certain pattern coming in. Like, for example, you're making the same mistake time and time and time and time again, and that mistake will be clear the moment you start journaling. If you're not doing it, you will forget it. You will forget about the fact you FOMOed yourself into a setup. You will forget about it. But if you write it down and you do it for 5 times in only 2 weeks, you will be like, bruh, I need to do something about that FOMO. And you will start remembering the moment you were trading, oh shit, I cannot FOMO, you know? So use a little book, journal it, get to know yourself, and become better. Okay? So good. I'm gonna leave it with this. I want to wish you all a beautiful week. We see each other back, of course, Wednesday, 8:30 a.m. for a brand new session where we will review all the price traps from today and, of course, make some new price traps for the upcoming week. So enjoy the beautiful week, and we see each other very soon again. Ciao, ciao.